The reality of dating for the average man is pretty brutal, so you're going to want to follow this framework. But let's quickly touch on the average man's experience. Well, first of all, he dwells a lot indoors, he brain rots a lot on short form, he doesn't really speak to a lot of girls. Now, if you've got a decent friendship group and you're hitting the nightclubs and the bars every weekend, then yeah, your chances go up a lot, because you're going to hopefully be talking to girls when you're out. You're hopefully going to be approaching because you've had a few drinks, right? And even then, all the numbers you're going to get, and all, if you do get any, you know, they're going to be fickle, they're going to be falling through. And how else are you going to be meeting them? You've probably using dating apps a little bit, but you're getting barely any matches, and the odd one you do get, you know, it's not converting. You can't get the number, you can't keep the convo going on Instagram or WhatsApp. Maybe your Instagram's terrible and you're barely going on dates. This is the reality of dating for, I would say, like 80 to 90% of men. And then you're relying on meeting girls through work or at the gym. You're hoping they're going to come up to you and ask to jump in with you on whatever exercise, and then you start chatting. A few weeks later you're in a relationship. It doesn't happen like that, right? So my framework is focusing on top of funnel. What does that mean? Just like a sales terminology, you've got a funnel, all the leads are coming in, you try and get as many in as possible. Why? Obviously, the more leads, the more percent chance of closes, the more percent chances of deals. But not only that, when you're a salesman and your lead funnel's maxed out and you've got constant leads coming in, you never get what's called a scarce mindset. Pressure to close the few leads that you do have. That pressure makes you perform worse. You want to be performing at your best. You want to be carefree. You want abundance. So you want a maxed out lead funnel. What is the easiest way to get a maxed out lead funnel in 2026 as a man? Is to tap into online, whether that's Instagram or dating apps. I would highly recommend Hinge. Hinge is by far the best thing. Take it from me, somebody who's dialed in, looks maxed relatively, you know, who's even got a little bit of social status online with 40,000 followers on Instagram. Nothing comes close to Hinge. Yeah, if I jumped on Hinge one Sunday and spent most of the day swiping, you know, I would have hundreds of matches, and let's just say 20% of them would be high interest, probably messaging me first, or they would be replying quickly if I messaged them first. And then what, those 20% get them over to Instagram or WhatsApp. I'd probably use my Instagram because it looks good, it's cool, and it increases trust and comfort over time, seeing you post stories, seeing you what you get up to, right? Out of those 20%, you could argue at least at some point half of them I'd probably go on a date with once I've had a call, once I've had a FaceTime. But all whilst I'm doing this, I'm constantly funneling in leads. I'm never focusing on who hasn't replied. I'm only looking at the top of my chats and seeing who has replied. The people that ain't interested or mid or wavering interest, I completely forget about them because there's constant matches coming in. And then obviously you do the phone calls or the FaceTimes. You see if you mesh, you see if they're a catfish. This is amazing because it saves you so much time from going on a date where they ghost last minute, or they're a catfish, or you simply don't mesh. Now, you don't want to go on a date with someone and it's awkward, you don't mesh, yeah? So if you have a phone call, guess what? You're going to realise that you both fancy each other, obviously, because you've matched from the pictures, but now you both get on well as well. So if you both get on well and you're both attracted to each other, guess what? The date is almost guaranteed to go well, unless you're extremely nervous and you fuck it up. But if you're extremely nervous, guess what? After a handful of dates, 10 dates, 20, 30, in quick succession, not too far apart, you're going to be going on these dates pretty carefree, not caring anymore. You get blunt to it, you get numb to it. It's only a matter of volume, it's only a matter of experience. Until you go on these dates, you don't really care, because your brain realises these dates, even when they go bad, nothing really bad happened to you, right? And over time, as you get more relaxed, you can be yourself. You're working on your social skills, your delivery on these dates, you're working on how to flirt and things like that. This is the best way to do it. Of course, I highly recommend you go, you know, get a side job as a bouncer or a club promoter so you can talk to thousands of girls in real life. It's going to boost your confidence massively. But if you do this, this is probably the best strategy going into 2026 and the future onwards to succeed in getting a good relationship. You have to run numbers. Even myself with an optimized profile, I have to run massive numbers, massive. So how are you going to have a chance if you're barely speaking to girls and barely getting any matches? Yeah, you have to follow my framework, get 6 amazing photos, and there's no hard fast rules for photos, but simply, do you look good in them? Are they optically pleasing? Are they aesthetic? Are you sexy looking? Have you dialed your physique in? And are you tapping into sex appeal? Are they biting their bottom lip when they look at you? Even if you're chopped, look at all the mid girls on dating apps and even social media. You know, the ones that are utilising sexy first traps, they're drawing you in. and you're thinking, I'd go on a date with her, even though I'm not too sure about the looks. There's something about her pulling me in and making me want to go see her and making me want to go on a date with her. So even if you tap into sex appeal, it works the other way around. Trust me. And it doesn't take long to get the 6 perfect photos at all. You know, there's some workhorses in my community that get it done in a couple months, 3 months. You know, and there's other guys that are taking time, it'll take a year, and there's other guys that are scared to take photos, and it's going to take them forever unless they keep booking photographers. And even then, professional photographers are pretty terrible when it comes to dating apps. But that's all you got to do, and once you get those 6 photos, it's easy mode. Now you just got to practice the matching, the messaging, the dates, and that's where it's at. That's what you want, because right now you're not talking to girls. You just want a chance to talk to girls, to figure out who's right for you and who you're right for, and to work on your confidence and your XP and your dating ability. I'm telling you now, unless you can find a way to constantly meet a lot of women in real life, and you can break that barrier of just being friendly and actually make it man to woman and flirt, you're gonna be screwed. So tap into Hinge, and the skill set that you develop to max out your Hinge is the same skill set you develop to max out on Instagram. So once you've done the Hinge, shift your focus to the Instagram, start building that up, start getting into photography, good imagery, you know, painting stories, cool effects, exposure, all these things, right? It's, you know what I mean? It's a massive rabbit hole, but simply, you need your online CV to be looking good, and this is what's gonna max out that lead funnel. And this is what's going to give you true abundance. And abundance is what you need to stop focusing on one girl at a time. She doesn't reply for a little while, you start stressing out. She does some weird activity online that you find weird, disrespectful, icky. Don't worry, move on to the next one. It really is that simple, guys. This is the best framework going into 2026. Only focus on your lead funnel at first. Don't worry about anything else. Don't worry about your confidence. Don't worry about your dating ability. None of that matters until you can get a max lead funnel, unless you're going to go do the spam approaching, like I say, with a security job at a club promoting. But focus on that, and then once that's all coming in, guess what? It's so much more stress-free when you know you've got a constant amount of matches coming in on a weekly basis and they're interested in you. Do yourself a favour, pull your finger out, go all in on photography and sex appeal maxing in 2026.